Authorities in California say they have a strong indication of where baby Emmanuel Haro's body may be. But here's the shocking part. They haven't revealed the location. Why not? What are they hiding? This is the case of a 7-month-old baby, whose parents are accused of killing him, and a justice system that may have failed him long before his death. Today, we're asking the hard questions. Did police mishandle this investigation? Did the courts give a violent man the freedom to destroy another child's life? And could Emmanuel's killers actually walk free? Let's start with the facts. Emmanuel Haro was just 7 months old when he disappeared from Moreno Valley, California. His parents, Jake and Rebecca Haro, claimed their baby had been kidnapped, but police quickly determined that story was a lie. Instead, investigators say Emmanuel never left the care of his parents because they killed him. Both Jake and Rebecca have now been charged with murder, as well as filing a false police report. But there's one major problem. Emmanuel's body has never been found. And without that crucial piece of evidence, the fight for justice becomes a lot more complicated. Earlier this year, police brought Jake Haro, in handcuffs and in orange jumpsuit, to a stretch of the 60 freeway in Moreno Valley. He was seen surrounded by investigators, cadaver dogs, and drones, as they searched the area for Emmanuel's remains. Think about that for a moment. Why would police allow an accused murderer to participate in the search for his own child? Was Jake leading them to Emmanuel's body? Was this part of a secret deal? Or was it a tactic to break him psychologically and force a confession? Either way, the sight of Jake walking near that freeway while Emmanuel is still missing has fueled even more outrage and suspicion. Not long after that search, District Attorney Michael Hestron made a chilling statement. He said investigators have a strong indication of where Emmanuel's body may be. But he stopped there. No exact location, no timeline, no confirmation that Emmanuel has been found. Why the secrecy? Some believe police are protecting critical evidence for trial. Others suspect the search wasn't successful, and authorities are simply trying to save face. And then there's the most troubling possibility of all, that Emmanuel's body may never be recovered, leaving this case in dangerous legal territory. It's impossible not to draw comparisons to the Kaylee Anthony case, another child whose body wasn't immediately found, and whose parents escaped full accountability in court. Are we watching history repeat itself? This isn't the first time Jake Haro has been accused of harming a child. Back in 2018, Jake was convicted of child abuse after violently shaking his girlfriend's baby. That little girl survived, but she now lives with permanent cerebral palsy. And here's the part that should make every parent furious. Despite nearly destroying that child's life, Jake didn't go to prison. Instead, a judge gave him probation. Yes, probation. The justice system had a chance to protect future children from Jake Haro. Instead, it gave him freedom, and Emmanuel paid the ultimate price. It's fair to ask, should this judge be held responsible too? But Jake didn't act alone. Emmanuel's mother, Rebecca, is also charged with murder. Why? Because she not only stayed with Jake after his child abuse conviction, she had more children with him. This raises disturbing questions. Was Rebecca trapped in an abusive relationship and too afraid to leave? Or was she a willing accomplice who put loyalty to Jake above her own baby's life? Mothers are usually seen as protectors, but in this case, did Rebecca betray Emmanuel in the worst possible way? Here's where the legal battle gets tricky. Yes, prosecutors can charge murder even without a body. It's happened before, but without physical remains, juries often hesitate. They want proof, they want evidence, and defense attorneys know how to exploit that doubt. The question becomes, will Jake and Rebecca walk free while Emmanuel is never found? Meanwhile, Emmanuel's story has exploded online. TikTok, YouTube, and Reddit are full of theories, investigations, and calls for justice. But police aren't happy. They've criticized social media for spreading misinformation. Here's the twist. Some people believe citizen investigators are actually doing more to keep Emmanuel's case alive than the authorities themselves. So I'll ask you, who do you trust more? Law enforcement, or the online community that refuses to let Emmanuel's name fade away? Emmanuel Haro was just 7 months old. He never had the chance to grow, to play, to even speak his first words. He can't tell his story, but we can. This case isn't just about the parents. It's about a justice system that ignored warning signs. It's about a community demanding answers. And it's about a baby who deserves to be remembered. So why the secrecy? Experts suggest 3 possible explanations. 1. The location could be an active crime scene, with critical evidence still being processed. Releasing it now could compromise the investigation. 2. Prosecutors may want to control the narrative during trial. If the body was found in a location that connects directly to the parents, that could be a devastating blow to the defense. Holding back this detail now could give prosecutors the element of surprise in court. 3. And here's the darkest possibility: the location itself may expose failures in the system. If Emmanuel was hidden in a place that should have been searched months ago, it raises disturbing questions about incompetence, or worse, a cover-up. But here's where the story takes another twist. They refuse to disclose the location, not to reporters, not to the public, not even to community leaders who have been fighting for transparency from day one. Their reasoning: ongoing investigation. But critics argue this secrecy could be hiding something far more damaging. Where Emmanuel's body was found may tell us how long investigators really knew. And that's the detail many fear law enforcement doesn't want exposed. This discovery could completely reshape the legal battle. Prosecutors now have what they didn't before: remains. That opens the door to forensic evidence, DNA, cause of death, trace materials, all of which could be the key to a conviction. But make no mistake, the defense will fight back hard. They may argue the secrecy around the discovery is suspicious, that investigators manipulated evidence, or even that Emmanuel's remains don't conclusively prove the parents' guilt. This trial was already expected to draw national attention. Now, with this new revelation, the stakes are even higher. At the heart of all this noise is a baby boy who never had a chance. Emmanuel Haro's story is not just a headline, it's a tragedy that speaks to the failures of family, community, and system alike. Now, with his remains believed to have been found, perhaps the truth is finally within reach. But until full transparency comes, we are left with more questions than answers. Sources close to the case suggest law enforcement has already searched areas off the 60 freeway, even escorting Jake himself in shackles. That's not standard procedure unless they believe he knows exactly where the body is. So why is the DA being vague? Why admit they have a lead, but not confirm whether the father gave them information? Could it be that prosecutors are holding back evidence of a confession to secure a stronger trial? Or is this about saving face after years of ignoring warning signs? This case isn't just about the parents. It's about a system so lenient it placed Emmanuel in the hands of known abusers. The community isn't just mourning, they're furious. Furious that a judge, a probation officer, and an entire child protection system gave Jake another chance to hurt his kids. Now Emmanuel is gone, and the system wants to pretend they're the heroes for finding his body. No, they're years too late. If Emmanuel's remains are located, forensic teams could still find the truth: fractures, injuries, even signs of long-term abuse. That evidence could turn this into a death penalty case. But if remains are never recovered, the case relies heavily on circumstantial evidence, and prosecutors know juries can be swayed. Which brings us to the most uncomfortable question: if the body is never found, could Jake and Rebecca actually walk free? At the heart of all this noise is a baby boy who never had a chance. Emmanuel Haro's story is not just a headline, it's a tragedy that speaks to the failures of family, community, and system alike. Now, with his remains believed to have been found, perhaps the truth is finally within reach. But until full transparency comes, we are left with more questions than answers. We'll continue to follow every twist in this heartbreaking case. What do you think? Why are investigators hiding the location? Is it about justice or something darker? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe, because in our next investigation, we uncover how one lie turned an entire case upside down. Stay tuned.